Hey everybody, welcome back. We're playing a little bit of Isaac today. I have a 7-win streak. That's or a 6-win streak. Let's hope that we get to 7. Hold on, I can feel a burp coming out. I apologize. I don't like it any more than you do. I'm trying to get rid of it in little breaths instead of having one big burp. I'm just gonna mute for a second. Oh man, that was good. I'm not trying to make you feel like you missed out on something, but that was pretty sweet. Okay, so it has been a while since we played Isaac. The baby was sick for quite some time, which really put I mean, time's already at a premium, and that put it at like a super premium. That was like surge pricing. I've been getting, back into it, but honestly, I've kind of been enjoying a little reprieve as well from Isaac. I understand people, they missed the episodes. They started to ask what's going on. Well, I'm just not making them every day. I'm making them when I get the chance, when I get the space. The space, the work-life balance is good, but that requires maintaining the work-life balance. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just have, like, a good work-life balance and then be like, oh, now that my work-life balance is good, I'm going to work a little bit more. Because then you got to add a little bit more life in order to balance it. If you can't do that, then your balance is all thrown out of whack. So I'm recording the episodes when I get a chance. But don't worry, we're not that anecdote-rich, to be honest with you. We're largely just, we're living a little bit of a routine life right now. The most exciting thing going on in my life from like a news standpoint is I finally started to toast my tortillas in the pan a little bit before I made like a fajita with them or a taco. And I gotta say, I know what you're gonna say. What are you gonna say? Go ahead, say it. You weren't doing that before? Occasionally I would, but I never did them one by one in a pan because I found it kind of annoying. In my head, I was like, oh, well, that's gonna add like 3 minutes of cooking time. That's not worth it. So instead, I might warm them up in the oven for a minute or two, or I might even, dare I suggest, warm them up in the microwave. And it was always like fine, but it never motivated me that much. Once I started doing them in a skillet, maybe even after you flip them 45 seconds in, putting a little shredded cheese on top of it so the cheese gets nice and melted while you're waiting for the other side to toast, I gotta tell you, it's changed the taco game for me. If you have not done it yourself, a lot of people, they always want, people are so eager to feel superior, right? You didn't know that? You didn't do that already? Lol, kek W. I'm here, maybe I'm not the last one to the party. You know, maybe there's dozens of people listening to this that eat tacos once a week, twice a month, something like that. They're not toasting their tortillas in the pan first. I'm here to tell you, if you got, half decent tortillas, I don't know how well the old El Pasos are going to toast up, but if you got nice tortillas, doesn't even mean they're expensive. Just like the kinds of, sometimes you take out a tortilla and you're like, this is bread. Sometimes you take out a tortilla and you're like, this is a tortilla. The latter is what you're looking for. It's worth it. You might be saying it's not worth the 3 minutes. I'm telling you, I cook dinner for myself, my wife, my baby every night. If I can get the time in my schedule to toast 4 tortillas, you're probably getting annoyed that I keep calling it toasting, but it seems like an apt verbiage right now. What the heck? I stepped on creep, maybe? I don't know. I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it, probably. I don't know. I can't speak for you. I don't know what's going on in your life. Now, we should not have taken so much damage here, but forgive me. I'm a little bit out of practice. I think we're looking pretty good. If I could just stop walking into enemies, that would be like a nice start. Hold on. We can do this. We can do this. Ooh, we can't do this. But this, talk about like a warm welcome back. Crown of Light. The Pact early on, Unicorn Stump, if we ever get like an orbital, we're laughing all the way to the bank. Mom's Heels, that's another classic item, of course. So many times on my hiatus from Isaac here, I sit back and I say, man, Mom's Heels would really hit the spot right now. What spot? Well, I don't know. I'd rather tell that to my therapist. Still got it. I didn't know if I could make a joke without my face cam anymore, without having the ability to just roll my eyes into the top of my head and be like, are you kidding me? Turns out we still got it. But yeah, that's basically like about it. Speaking of which, you ever see the movie About Schmidt? It's pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like, you know, a must watch. Really depends on how much you find yourself genuflecting at the Church of Alexander Payne. Sorry, I got a little sparkling water stuck in my throat. The Church of Alexander Payne. Of course, Sideways, great movie. Election. A lot of people don't know that he did that one, but he did. You can look it up. Alexander Payne, right there on the film typeface, on the manifest. Take me to the shop, please. I should not walk into so many enemies, and we definitely, like, if we die on this one, that's like the last Isaac video I'm ever recording. So let's just make that a non-option right now. I would like to purchase some spirit hearts. You know what? Give me a card. Let's get a little crazy with it. Had a good day on stream today. I know maybe there's a rivalry between the Isaac viewers and the Super Auto Pets viewers. I'm here to tell you, you can coexist, okay? There's a false oh, that's so good. That's such a good item for us right now. There's a false dilemma that if you're like a viewer of one thing, if something steps in and it takes a little bit of precedence off that, it's like you can't enjoy it. I find myself in the same boat. Sometimes, you know, the streamers I watch are in an archetype. They're playing games that I find enjoyable to watch. And then they get sucked into something like, you know, Lost Ark, where I have no idea what's happening for, you know, 5 minutes at a time until I flip over to Netflix. Okay, that's a beautiful item. But I guess I just pretty much argued against my point. But you know what? That's how you know you have an open mind and you're a skilled debater, because I've convinced myself that my opinion was wrong in the first place. Maybe you're right to be mad at Super Auto Pets. But still a great game. Did some Sporkle quizzes, had a great time. And man, oh man, I've been loving the Geo Duels. Someone posted a thread on the Me subreddit that was like, I'm trying to identify common themes in games that NL likes, and the top post had me like completely pegged. Games that are completely mechanics driven and he doesn't care at all about like art. Then that's pretty much it. Like anytime I see someone say like, oh, Super Auto Pets, like how was he play this game for 400 hours? They look like emojis. I'm like, they don't look like emojis, Poindexter. They are emojis. And the thing is, this game for me, I recognize different strokes for different folks, but this game for me would not be any better with like a more polished AAA art style. Like I would look at it after that update and I would go, oh, I think they changed the sprites. And then 5 seconds later, they would just get anchored into my brain as whatever they already were. I'd be like, okay, this is what the duck looks like, I guess. And then I would just get back to playing the game. And this is not braggadocious. If anything, I think it means that I'm not very visually oriented. But I think my brain just like abstracts out what I'm seeing. Maybe there's a part of me that thinks, because like, if you're not familiar with this story, it's a pretty good one. But also, if you didn't have a sense of humor, I could see how you could find it infuriating if it happened to you. But I just kind of find it funny. As a kid, I didn't wear glasses, like until age 10. So many invincibility items, man. And then one day when I was like 6, I talked to my mom and was like, hey, I've been like having a little bit of trouble seeing the chalkboard at school. Maybe like I need glasses. She took me to my family pediatrician, who was like 80 years old in the mid-90s. So pretty old school, right? And I think that he thought that he was protecting me, but he gave me an eye exam, which I must have been terrible at, and then said to my mom, well, you know, he's probably never going to be like a fighter pilot, but his eyes are okay. I would say there's no need to like subject him to glasses. So for the next like 5 years, I never wore glasses. I just assumed this is how everybody else on Earth sees the world. And then I was watching the Super Bowl one day on TV, and I asked my parents to tell me the score. And my dad said, what? You don't know what that score is? Like, it's just right there on the TV. And I said, no, I can't read it. So they took me in for an eye test. And then my eye test, I failed it even worse. I remember the optician asking me if I was joking. Then I finally got glasses. So there is a part of me that wonders if it isn't like my brain as a child got used to like taking the weird half images that I could make out and then like abstracting them to some kind of, I'm sure everybody does it to some extent, but you know, abstracting it to some kind of like idea that exists in my cerebrum so that I could, you know, work on that information instead of the blurry picture that lied in front of me. That's my thinking of what might have happened there. But I think it's true. I really don't care about the art. I've never looked at a game and been like, the art or the music have put me off of it. Maybe if the art was like grotesque in some way, like just, there's some games where they look like, you know, Kevin Spencer, the old Comedy Network show for everyone out here who's Canadian. And I'd be like, yeah, maybe that I'd be like, that doesn't speak to me. But like the assets just kind of looking bad, or maybe not conventionally, you know, beautiful, it wouldn't bother me that much. It wouldn't bother me. Anyway, let's get it going here. Same thing, because there's two games that it always comes up for. One of them is Super Auto Pets. Especially like in the new pack, people are like, the new art style is not unified with the last one, and I'm like, I didn't even notice. They're all emojis to me. And then the other one is Slay the Spire. Some people, and it again, I have to stress, it's just different strokes for different folks. But hold on, Lodestone me. That's not how Lodestone works. What are you doing? I tried to use Nod Leaf to go through the door. I got it confused with the one, like, Thorns or whatever, that allows us, like, once every 5 seconds we don't take damage. Anyway, the other one is Slay the Spire, and I just can't relate to the idea that, like, you would look at Slay the Spire and be like, well, it looks like the game is fun, but I just don't want to play it because the art looks kind of like, you know, uninspired. It's your time, don't get me wrong. It's just such a foreign concept for me because I'm... in a legitimate sense, like, almost all I see is the mechanics. My eyes are seeing what's happening in Isaac, but I don't know if it's making it all the way to my brain, and I'm being real with you when I say that, because I can't speak for what happens in the translation of the information that comes from my optic nerve to the visual processing section of my brain. Okay, not great. Very great. I'm just along for the ride, right? Like I don't know what's going on up there. It's all unconscious. So I'm not fully sure that I actually like my brain is seeing anything. I don't know. You might say that sounds ridiculous, but if you've ever watched me like play a game where I have to find one specific object, you'll probably, you know, be like, you know what? I thought you just wanted to sound special, but now that I've watched you interact with the world in a visual context, I actually feel like maybe you're right. But maybe not. But I think that's true, you know? The games that appeal to me the most, on average, are games where there's no logical beginning or ends, you know? They're entirely mechanics driven. And the mechanics are satisfying. That might sound like a hand-wavy answer. Maybe it even is a hand-wavy type answer, but you know, it's my video. You got a problem, then leave it in the comments section below, I guess. Okay, remember, every spirit heart gives us a stat upgrade. Okay, well, that's not going to be too relevant here, but that's okay. Buddy in a box. How about that? School bag. It's not fair to say, but I still find school bag kind of annoying. Just because sometimes I'm like, oh man, now I got to manage 2 items. Now I'm going to do something that I'm going to be honest with you is motivated almost entirely by laziness. By the way, great backpack pickup here. I'm going to not hit the item room because I'm already strong. But then also, if a planetarium happens to show up, I can act like I'm a genius. Especially if it's one of the like 12% of planetarium items that's not useless. Nothing? Okay. Nothing. All right, that's fine. I'm not sweating it. I mean, this run has been incredible so far. I might be making some mistakes in the game. I think that's fair to say, but it has been a bit. There's exceptions, like Elden Ring is an exception, but I don't know. I really like the story of Dark Souls games when somebody explains it to me. And I did beat Elden Ring, in case you haven't been following along, which, again, this is your prerogative. I did beat Elden Ring, and I enjoyed it immensely. I had a great time. What I've read of the story, you know, from, like, lore explained threads on the Elden Ring subreddit is very cool. I can't wait for, like, a 2-hour video that tells me everything that, happened in that game that I missed. Which I'm sure is, myriad. And I think I'll be like, wow, Miyazaki, you genius. But in the game, I'm basically just a press RB and press circle sort of guy. You know what? I'll take that. And I'm okay with that. I think I to thine own self be true, you know? You think I could sneak out the darn door here? Oh my god, it worked. It cost me a key, though. Not a huge problem, but I'll take it. I don't think that used to work. They have been patching, like... my cloud save was not synced for this game for some reason. Okay, I think you gotta go off here. Red Stew, we got great speed. Maybe we can fight Mega Satan on this run. That's how I'm feeling about it right now. I don't remember what the Hanged Man does. I've become greed temporarily, I think. I think we take Bloody Penny. And we take it to keep our HP high so that Crown of Light will always work. Even if we get a lot of Red Heart containers that could, in theory, go empty. Now, that would have been a good room for Counterfeit Penny. But it was a great room to be greed, let me tell you. I'm a little too lazy to go back. Just being honest. Honestly, if you are ever looking for an excuse to be a little lazy, having a kid is like, I would definitely recommend it. But there is a catch. You're going to be... People are going to accept your reasoning for being lazy because you're probably very tired. So you have to weigh that. It's a little bit of... I mean, there's some good stuff here, but I'm moving on, man. It's a little bit of a monkey's paw. And I'm having a great time being a dad, don't get me wrong. But there, you know, as a dad, I'm having a great time. As the pre-child version of myself that exists, you know, within my brain as a memory, sometimes he's like, I'm tired. And I'm like, I know, man, but like, come on, this is what you signed up for. But the monkey's paw will curl. You'll have a great excuse to not do optional things. You'll have a great excuse to be a little bit late for some stuff. And people will be maybe not 100% understanding, but more understanding. The catch is, you're going to be late because you're legitimately late. And you're going to have an excuse not to do some optional stuff because you're legitimately busy. So there's your catch. It's not really an excuse anymore. I get it, too. I know if you don't have a kid, it doesn't sound fair. I would have said the same thing 2 years ago, right? It's not, I mean, it's inherently unfair in one sense. Not everybody is being treated exactly the same. Not everybody's getting the same degree of, you know, treatment. Just to put it literally speaking, someone with a child saying, sorry, I'm late, versus somebody without a child saying, sorry, I'm late. Hey, you can have legitimate reasons for being late in both situations. But only one of us can pull out an excuse like, yeah, sorry, I'm late, my kid crapped their pants. You know? I'm not taking Spirit Sword. I don't respect it. Oh, sorry, I'm late, my kid had her, like, she had to get 9 vaccinations on the same day because that's what it's like to be a baby. There's a difference. It's like if you saw somebody eat a 2,000 calorie lunch and then somebody in your office was like, hey, I have 1 donut left. Who gets the last donut? And you haven't eaten lunch yet. If the dude who ate the 2,000 calorie lunch was like, I want it, it's not really fair that you're not splitting it in half, but at the same point, you'd probably be like, wait a minute, I'm legitimately hungry. You just don't like seeing other people get something for free. We're not the same, you know? It is fair in the sense that it's, you know, like to each according to their needs from each according to their means, you know? I don't like being late. It makes me uncomfortable. However, now when I'm late, being able to drop like sorry I'm late, kids, and then just give them a knowing look. I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't used it. I'm also not going to say I haven't used it in the occasional situation where my kid had nothing to do with the fact that I showed up 10 minutes late. But they don't need to know that. It's a lie that everybody can get down with. It makes them feel better. It makes me feel better. I don't know. It makes me feel better. That's the important part, I guess. Hold on. I'm not used to a run developing this fast. This is like when your Magic the Gathering deck normally requires a siege elephant to pop, but instead you got Gideon out on turn 4, and like they haven't targeted him with any damage, so you've almost hit your ultimate on your loyalty tokens. Sure, I'll take Purgatory. And I will go up. This is going to be like a 23-minute long run. That's crazy. The game, it's apology accepted game. Look, I'm here to tell you, I think this is a lesson in knowing your worth, okay? I think this is a lesson in, it's definitely not a lesson in luck or variance, which is what you're going to suggest. It's a lesson in knowing your worth. Previously, the game had me by the you-know-whats. Oh, no damage upgrades on your entire run? No HP upgrades on your entire run? What are you gonna do? See you tomorrow, NL. Now, I take a couple of weeks, I say, you know what? I'm going on sabbatical. I come back and the game's feeding me damage upgrades. It's just, don't stop till you're numb. You know what? Don't be afraid. Maybe you can take some inspiration in your life. You sick of watching a TV show that's gotten worse, or maybe a streamer that streams 9 to 2 every weekday, except for some weekdays when he's got a baby-related excuse not to be there? Say, you know what? I'm taking a 2-week sabbatical. Right now, I'm like, go on. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. 3 weeks from now, I might be like, no, please stop. Sure, we'll play the good life again. We'll play the good life again. Sure, we'll do another Fallout New Vegas Let's Play. I guarantee we can recapture the magic of the original. Just words to live by, man. Now, don't throw it away. Sorry, I punched my mic there. Don't throw it away and die. It's been known to happen. What a shot, man. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to be fine. Especially when we get amazing items here, which is guaranteed. You know, we got Bloody Penny. That's so funny. I'm not going to fight Mega Satan. And the main reason for this, just being honest, I think we would die against Mega Satan, and I've done it 10,000 times, so it's not like, you know, I've probably done this 20,000 times, but it's not like there's a lot of novelty in either of them. That's not what you're here for anymore. You're here for familiarity, and there you go. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.